Hi everybody, Zach here for another episode of our flagship program, the Spideydude Experience. This episode is brought to you by our loyal patrons over at patreon.com/Spideydude Network. Pledge today and get both early access to content on the main channel, as well as entirely exclusive content, like brand new shows and commentaries for old Spidey stuff, including commentaries for the MTV series, for example, as well as the video editions for Voices from the Eyrie Gargoyles Podcast. And our Patreon first show focused on the Krakoan era of X-Men. We also want to encourage you to check out our other programs that are all available on Audio Edition. These are all over on Spideydude.com, and they're available on your favorite podcasting app. Shows like Clone Saga Chronicles, the show that started this entire network, Spectacular Radio, Spectacular Sal Buscema era podcast, Amazing Spider-Man Classics, the Slot Symposium, and the sister program on this channel, Make Mine Mayday. As always, be sure to hit the like button. It really does help us big time in the algorithm. And additionally, if you have topics you'd like to cover on a live show or in a recorded medium, make sure to leave a comment down below the description or shoot us an email at SpideydudeRadioNetwork@gmail.com. Finally, make sure to join our community. Be alerted to all new updates by hitting that subscribe button and clicking on the bell. But to be clear, your viewership is more than enough for us. And if you want to hang out with us off YouTube, you can always go to our Discord, where we have all sorts of fun stuff, or you can join us on our social medias and follow us there. All the links are down in the description below. As always, we want to be making some references to visual aids and or live comments. If you're an audio listener, pay that no mind, but leave that 5-star review for us. Any and all feedback we will read on future episodes. Thank you, and without further ado, let's get rolling with this episode of the Spideydude Experience. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Ultimate Spideydude Experience. I am Zach Joyner, your friendly neighborhood webmaster of Spideydude.com and host of the program. We're doing this special afternoon edition because of, well, it's all Javi's fault. We're going to blame him. Hi, Javi.
Hi. Welcome to life. And those who try and have one.
Host of ASM Classics and something Wally West.
There we go.
Up to speed with Wally West. I forgot
right. You just got to read the cards, man. You just got to read off the cards.
Listen. That was my Ron Burgundy moment for the episode. And we have producer Neil. Welcome back, Neil.
Yeah, everyone's wearing a hat, so I thought I'd put one on for the show.
Oh, okay. And of course, we always have Ultimate Adam.
Yeah, I'm not wearing a hat. Maybe someday.
Damn it. Okay.
Somebody else who's not wearing a hat is Ashley. Hello, Ashley.
I want to go get a hat now.
Listen, I wear a hat.
Welcome to Hat Talk.
I know, right?
Ultimate Hat Talk.
The Hat Talk Experience.
I wear a hat because, I'm trying not to blind people with my chrome dome. So
it does pretty
offset,
bright
the
there.
red. Yeah.
So today we are covering Ultimate Spider-Man number 7. I know it's been a couple of weeks since it's come out. It came out the 31st of July, which was a weird day because we had Shadow of the Green Goblin 4, ASM, and this come out. So now we're going to be finally caught up, essentially, with this episode.
We're building anticipation here.
Yes, and just in time for like 2 weeks, we're going to do in the next Ultimate issue.
We're keeping it rolling here.
We are going here weekly. Fun fact:
it's
today,
the non-stop Spideydude Experience now.
Gonna fucking jump.
Well, I mean that there was a non-stop Spider-Man, so
That's what I'm saying.
There we go.
Non-stop, more like stopped an issue in.
Kind of, yeah. We reviewed what, the first 2 or just the first one of that?
Not even. We reviewed like the first issue and then like it got delayed ad infinitum, so
Right.
we just stopped.
Oh yeah, it got.
Now,
pandemic.
granted, it was because Pchajek's family had health problems and he needed to take some time off. So I don't blame him for that. Just I think it's funny that a book called Non-Stop Spider-Man got delayed like 2 issues in. So
Yeah.
That's what they call irony.
Or hang on. Which one is it?
Don't do the
Satchel. Anyway, so let's talk a little bit about You know what? Ashley hasn't been on since we did we talk about San Diego? We did talk about San Diego. Never mind. I'm
literally last week with Adam, and then you asked us that super awkward. How did that come about, and how did you meet?
Thing.
Yeah. That's how meeting up in person works. Just hey, I'm here too. Let's hang out. Okay.
So we're not reliving that. Sorry.
It was a busy week.
It was.
Dude, the last 2 weeks have felt like a month.
2 months.
So I have, it's just a lot. We'll have some news. We'll talk about news next episode. I figured we would just jump right in.
Well, we could just talk about how Ultimate this issue got a second printing.
We can.
There you go.
yeah, there's our news. Announced today by Marco Cicchetto via Instagram. This issue does get a second printing, which is the only difference between, I think, the first and the second is the trade dress is black instead of white.
Yeah, it's this one, but it's black instead of white. Wow, that's cool.
I'm surprised they didn't go for like different art.
That would cost money though.
That's true.
I think they'd have to pay someone who's not the graphic designer to do more.
I think they're running out of steam in that department a little bit. And plus I think the sales are slowing down a bit just by nature of it being so far in. I think there will be a bump with the upcoming Black Cat thing, but
there was some announcements. Obviously the solicitations.
2 Black Cats.
We're gonna have not 1 but 2 Black Cats. Don't know why the cat came out.
Both are hot. Let's talk about them.
But both are hot in their own ways.
The infidelity arc begins now.
Oh no, please no.
Oh Neil.
See, and I don't want that because like a lot of people are saying, because people push back about the lack of drama in the book or whatever by saying like, oh, you people want Peter to not be the ultimate wife guy and cheat on Mary Jane with Felicia, and it's like, no, I don't want that.
To be fair, I think a lot of the people saying the infidelity arc begins now are just saying it in jest because they think it's
definitely
funny.
But then people are taking it too seriously, and they're like, "Oh, you guys,
like me." Shut up, Javi.
Javi's always going, goes for the jugular, man. Goes for the jugular.
I mean, that's where I'm hearing it from. So that's.
No, Harry. I almost said Harry. Javi's right.
Harry is right. I mean, Harry is in this issue.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, Harry's got issues in this issue.
I mean,
oh my god.
And Peter's about to have issues.
Harry does not have daddy issues. He has father issues. They are that bad. I don't want Peter to cheat on MJ, but damn, I wouldn't blame him with that Black Cat.
So when friend of the show Feedy posted on Twitter about Black Cat, I said, "Don't do it, brother Peter. Stand strong. Don't forget about MJ, May, and the other child. Stand strong in the face of temptation."
Richard. His name is Richard.
The other child. I like that better.
It's over for Richard. He's gone.
You are still beating that drum of death for him. So there is that. Javi's just looking at us so disapprovingly right now.
Neil just wants Peter to cheat and the kid to die.
I just want chaos. I don't care how it happens. I just want chaos to happen.
It's hell. Peter's life becomes hell.
This is the one Spider-Man comic that I'm unabashedly loving right now, and Neil just wants to take it away from me because he hates happiness.
No, I don't. Hang on. One man's happiness is not another man's.
It's all part of his plan to get me to quit Marvel altogether and start reading Transformers and start a podcast with him called More Than Meets the Neil. I don't know.
I like that.
More than meets Neil.
This is what he wants. And he's not even denying it, so
it
would
be on brand for us now.
No. Marcy's got the right idea. What if Uncle Ben cheats on Jonah with Black Cat? We can't take away our old man Yowie. You can't take away our old man Yowie. What's wrong with you?
Yet of Brokeback Bugle yet. Come on, man.
First we attack Neil's heart here, and that's how you do it.
First we attack his ship.
Oh my gosh, no.
I almost had water up my nose.
Now, like, my brain is
There we
just like anticipating the sadness because you a-holes have been saying, like, why is Uncle Ben still alive? Can't wait for him to get picked off for like forever.
Can't wait for him.
Me.
Can't wait for him to get domed finding out the truth.
I mean, I don't want him to die necessarily, but I do, like I just said, if you know, if we want, if
Marcy's
the
right.
goal would
They didn't
be
say
to make this a you know, a more standard Spider-Man thing with a few tweaks, then Uncle Ben would probably die, and then we'd basically have like a 90s-esque status quo, like post Clone Saga type deal.
Marcy's correct. Marcy's correct. They didn't say which Black Cat.
I just assumed the, you know, the DILF one.
Don't let Elektra, I mean Black Cat, tempt you.
So I did see a hot take about this series on another podcast.
Uh-oh.
And they were talking about how, like, you had to know about the 616 to know about this universe. And I don't know where they pulled that out of, because honestly, to me, you don't have to know nothing about the 616
or anything.
I know literally nothing.
Arguably, you need to know more about the original Ultimate Universe than you do 616.
Yeah, and you kind of have to know about this universe from the previous, you know, Ultimate. What was it called?
Ultimate Invasion, Ultimate Universe.
That's what I thought. Yeah. So that, and then I guess Ultimates would be kind of required reading for this a little bit.
Speaking of which, read Ultimates. It's phenomenal. God loves crabs.
No one understands that out of context, Neil.
That's the point.
That's the point. Go read Ultimates so you can get context for it.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. So we're 12 minutes in, and Neil, quick recap. What happens in issue 7?
All right, issue 7 of Ultimate Spider-Man, written by Jonathan Hickman, art by Marco Cicchetto, and colors by Matt Wilson. It is July, 6 months after Peter got bitten by the radioactive spider, and Otto Octavius, with his foreshadowing Dr. Octopus arms, is examining the Green Goblin armor. Peter's like, "Who the hell are you again?" "Oh, I'm Otto Octavius. I have a ego problem. Here, let me make you some AIs for your suits, because that can happen now."
Yeah.
Peter says, "Hey, I like to talk to myself. I like to yank my own chain." And Otto goes, "Well, that's a bit of a waste of time. Hey, Harry, what do you want?" "My dad, because I have daddy issues."
Yes, father issues.
Yeah,
those are worse.
Daddy.
Shut up, Ashley.
Anyways, at the paper, MJ and Gwen are going on to check in on Gwen's investment. They're not there. Turns out they went to go meet their third in their throuple, Robbie Robertson, who has some important information to divulge on what's going on with Kingpin. Meanwhile, at a black hole in Manhattan, a building doesn't exist, which I guess is how buildings work. They just don't exist these days. Captain Britain arrives to check in on Kingpin and says, "Hey, remember that bullseye guy that Green Goblin sent to Super Gitmo? I've got like 7 of them. Here, they're yours." And Kingpin goes, "No, I'm good. I got my own guys in mind. Don't bother. I got my own dudes.
My own Insidious 6 in mind."
And so later in the day, Harry and Peter are practicing, and Otto uploads the AIs into their suits. Peter's is in a black circle with white text, which definitely doesn't mean they're going to be Venom later on. And Harry's AI father goes, "Avenge me!" And then Harry uses the Unibeam on Peter, reminding everyone that this is an Iron Man suit at heart. As Peter and Harry are getting ready for another round, Otto goes, "Hey guys, a little problem. There's a third Stark Tech node popping up." And out of the portal from Voltron Legendary Defender, Iron Lad shows up and says, "It's time to join the Schizo Squad, Peter. Time to leave your redhead wife behind and join the Resistance. Are you a hero yet?" To be continued. Yeah, that sound effect was shit.
It didn't come through very well. It didn't come through.
It came like halfway.
Oh,
I didn't hear anything.
Damn it.
Just the silence as we waited for what's to come.
Damn, Javi, you're getting all deep and intellectual.
Iron Man goes up to Peter and says, "Are you in or are you out? Think about it.
Are you in or are you out?"
No. It's Iron Lad. Don't.
I forgot. Sorry.
Iron Man was a different man.
He'll always be Iron Man to me, even though he's a teenager. 20-year-old.
Every time I think of Iron Lad, I think of Kang the Conqueror, which
that is the point.
Kind of the point.
Didn't he go by Iron Man when he was Teen Tony in like the 90s?
Yes,
he was still Iron Man.
Nickname. Right? I don't know if that ever was like official.
Teen Tony after the crossing, I think, just went by Iron Man.
Yeah.
But because the visual similarities between Kang and Iron Lad are here in Ultimate Invasion, if you haven't read Ultimate Invasion, it's implied, I think, very heavily that Teen Tony becomes Kang the Conqueror in the future to fight the Maker. That the Iron Lad imagery is very deliberate. He's got those stripes
and stripes on his faceplate,
and the Immortus engine in his arc reactor thing
closet.
Yeah. Again, read Ultimate. Again, like if you think your biggest hurdle with Ultimate Spider-Man is that you have to read 616 Spider-Man, you're wrong. These guys haven't read Ultimate Invasion. They're confused as hell as to what's going on with Iron Lad.
Honestly, I don't care. I'm just here for the Spider-Man. So
damn. All right.
Yeah.
Damn, Javi.
Just keep my Ultimate Spidey as self-contained as you can. That's what I'm here for.
Good luck.
I was gonna say it's Marvel.
Hang on, wait a minute.
I'm sure there's going to be a crossover at some point. But
wait a minute. A deliberately connected universe
is just kind of off doing its own thing. And I don't feel like you need to read X-Men or Black Panther or Ultimates to enjoy these first 8 issues or 7 issues.
So I don't disagree with
that too.
Here's the thing, I don't disagree, but reading the other Ultimate titles kind of enhances the Spider-Man experience because it gives you an idea of what's going on in the Maker's world.
Mm-hmm. And I think I agree with that, but also like this as a standalone, and if you just read this and you're not interested in the rest of them for like the enhancement purposes, I think it's still a great standalone now, at least.
No, it is. Sorry. What were you saying, Adam?
Well, I think like for me, I think I know enough about the world via this series. Like I'm more interested in like what the characters are doing at this point because I feel like I think I know personally enough about this world and how it's different that it's like, okay, that's cool. Like now let's get to the Spidey stuff.
I think to me, the metaphor I used on the Crawl Space Discord was that Ultimate Spider-Man, to use the classic the world outside your window metaphor that Marvel's always used to describe their relationship with the outside world. This is the world like immediately outside your window. Ultimates is like kind of scratching the if you're more curious about like what's changed in the world around Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimates is the title you go to because Ultimate Spider-Man kind of intrigues you with like what's going on. Ultimates realizes it, I guess is the best way to put it.
Sure.
It's
like it's basically one.
Shut up, nerd.
It's Ultimate Spider-Man is like one guy's perspective or like a couple people's perspective, but then Ultimates is like the broader scope of everything.
And we're recording this before Ultimate number 8 has come out. Like I said, the issue ends on a cliffhanger with Iron Lad coming to Peter and saying, "Hey man, Hickman said I'd be back in 6 months, and it's been 6 months. Here I am, ready to join the resistance."
Our daddy said I had to come back. Now I'm back.
Chart Daddy told me I had to come back, and here I am. Which is funny because Ultimates has more charts in it than Ultimate Spider-Man has.
I know.
Good.
Javi, Hickman always likes his charts.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Tony.
Having read X-Men with this guy.
Other way.
Literally no one.
I've seen the X-Men. I've seen the X-Men living arrangement chart. So
I've seen the door. I've seen the doorless conjoined rooms. I know what's up.
Kind of like a wedding reception where you just have like this massive chart of who's sitting where. Is that?
Yes.
Oh, it's the sex house chart.
It was like that.
Why are
and
we
like
going there, Neil?
It was
Because that's what it was!
because Javi, I don't know if you saw it, but it was like Jean's room was connected to both Cyclopses and Wolverines. There were
with no doors.
Yeah.
It was like you got Cyclops to the left and Wolverine to the right.
That's all.
And now Jean's in space.
Now Jean's like, I don't need no man no more, and she's in space.
Cyclops is doing paramilitary shit, and Wolverine's just hanging out in the woods.
So, anyways, does Ultimate Spider-Man have a spider sense?
I guess.
I think so. But
how was Otto able to prick him and get whatever sample he took?
Yeah.
Or was it just that sandwich was that good that he ignored it? He's like, sandwich.
My assumption, sorry, what were you gonna say, Zach?
My assumption is that he didn't think he was a threat until he actually was a threat.
Oh, I thought you totally froze for a second. Your internet crapped out.
This episode.
No, he was just going for the
T-Mobile
for one more month.
What was I saying? I kind of like how Otto does a little exposition on like the differences in Stark tech. Like he explains that like Harry's Green Goblin armor is like current gen Iron Man armor, and Peter's is like next gen Pico tech. I like that kind of elaboration on like the differences in Stark tech and how it relates to Peter and Harry, or Harry and Peter.
Marcy says in the comments, Peter hasn't learned how to use the spider since he's older. He has no reflexes. It's like MCU Spidey where he needed to learn to focus.
He's also not a genius. Like I kind of like that. Like Otto was talking like some weird mad scientist bullshit, and Peter's like, I have no idea what any of this means. because he hasn't had a need to hone his love of science. Like he's smart, but
I feel like that's honestly, if you want Peter to be the everyman that Marvel likes to claim he is, then he shouldn't be like this super genius Reed Richards type. He should be like top of his class, like gets a scholarship, maybe like knows physics and or biology really well, but I don't know if he, and maybe like is a bit of a tinkerer like you've talked about, Neil. But that's kind of, I don't know if he should be like this guy like that automatically understands how nanobots work,
Right.
Pico tech, excuse you.
Oh yeah.
It's just another symbiote. Come on, let's just be real.
Yeah, like this thing is definitely not going to turn out to be Venom in like an issue or two.
It's so interesting too, like because Otto takes his sample and it's like, oh well, will that influence him to become Dr. Octopus? Well,
part of me, I'm not sure if like the silhouettes of Spider-Man just standing there and like within like the darkness where like it's just his eyes. I'm not sure if that was a good visual foreshadowing of Venom or not, but
that was a good. I like that little panel.
I'm a little disappointed that like MJ didn't have a whole lot to do this issue.
Yeah,
that's kind of my major
this building. That's it.
But I do like. I like that we get Robbie's redemption because I think we were all kind of like iffy on Robbie, like, oh, I'm just waiting for my retirement, my pension, whatever, But now we get like, okay, he's their source, their inside man, and that's cool. I like that a lot.
Is that Gus from Breaking Bad, the one that looks like Gus?
Yes.
Yeah. Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, literally.
He should have been that. He should have been Robbie instead of George Washington Bridge.
Context, Neil, for those that don't understand that joke.
He's in Captain America.
Yes.
That's it.
Joke. Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
Moving forward. Gus Fringe, that's his name, right? That's
Fringe,
all I can think of.
Gus Fring, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
He would be a really good Robbie though.
No, it's literally his face on that character in this issue.
I can see it. And that's a good point. I like how all the characters look in this. I mean, it's just Kaketo's great. Like, and I just like how everyone looks in this. Everyone has a distinct look for the most part. And they look like how I think you want these characters to look. I don't know. It's just everyone just looks great. The book just looks great in general.
Eskiner asked, do we have any idea where this issue happens in relation to Ultimates? I assume it happens after recruiting Wasp and Ant-Man, just because Ultimates 1, I think, happens in June. But I'm not sure how far into July this is, because the Ultimates invade the White House, which is owned by Midas, to rescue America Chavez on the 4th of July. So I'm assuming to some degree that this takes place after Ultimates 2, because it's later in July.
Yeah. By the way, Neil, the cover for the next issue is already up on Marvel.com.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you.
I was double checking to see if it was going to be Shadow next issue.
I mean, or the interior art, or
yeah, I thought it was.
It is.
It's a Shadow. Messina
takes the preview already.
I think Messina takes over on issue 10 again. I think.
Yeah. Which, God, that cover is so good though. I love that cover to issue 10. You have not seen it. It's definitely like a homage to Marvel's #1.
I do like the practice fight between Harry and Peter. I'm not sure how I feel about Harry having like Iron Man lasers or the Unibeam, but because it's repurposed Stark tech, I'll allow it, just because like we know that it comes from repurposed Stark tech, so it makes sense that he wouldn't change the guts too much.
Tony Stark.
I do like how it gives him a reason to have the goblin beam thing, the sparkle blast beam, whatever it's called. Yeah. It's a different spin on that. I like that. But yeah, the beam, the unibeam is maybe a bit much, but again, it is an Iron Man armor, so it makes sense.
It's not like
how often will he use that is the question.
I hope not too often. I hope it's like a last resort thing that Harry just uses like when he panics or something. Like it obviously drains too much power from the suit or something. I don't know. I do like Otto's outfit that kind of just obviously visually foreshadows him becoming Dr. Octopus, if he does.
I didn't even notice that. That's a good
there's like
look at that panel. Yeah, it's like it's right. I see it.
Hang on, I'm gonna go grab my issue because I left it in the other room. Hang on.
Yeah,
I read it and I did not notice that, but yeah, it's like it because it's almost blink and you miss it, but it's also like right in your face.
Yeah, like there's a panel on page 1 where it's Harry tinkering with the Green Goblin armor, and it's like he's standing away from the viewer, and it has like a panel with like 4 wires jutting out that looks like Dr. Octopus's arms, and it's like, oh shit, that's cool. Like I said, Shadow is a fantastic visual storyteller. Like the minute Peter says, "Oh, hey, I like to talk to myself for my weird AI guy. I want my Cortana copy to be me."
Too.
It changes immediately to him having like the black silhouette with the white eyes. It's like, oh shit, we're getting Venom. What do you think of Harry choosing Norman as his AI, as his Cortana? They'll call him Stud Muffin.
What?
Oh wait, you guys. Okay,
I thought Zach went out for milk and wasn't coming back. To be honest, the way his chair was just spinning.
So there's a joke in Halo that when Master Chief plugs Cortana into his helmet, it's like there's a blue lady in my head that calls me Stud Muffin.
Yeah. See. Okay. No Halo over here. Sorry.
Well, the thing is like in this case, it's
there's my daddy in my head that calls me a failure.
That's what I was going to say. Yep. Basically, that was what I was going to say. Failure, definitely.
I like it because it's a modern JMD Ghost of Norman talking to Harry without having to be like Harry's so crazy he sees or hears the ghost of his father, be it in the Raimi movies or the JMD run. So it's like a nice 21st century techie way to have that dynamic, and Harry to, I would hope, work on his issues, but knowing Harry, that's not how
I don't think
things go for him.
Men will do anything aside from go to therapy.
Yeah,
men will upload their dead father who didn't like them that much into their AI, their suit as an AI before going to therapy.
Yeah, I think this is going to be negative.
I love Otto's ego to like
put himself
hey, Napoleon, Lincoln, Caesar, and Gandhi. Oh hey, there's me in here.
You can talk to me.
Aren't I so great?
I do love the fact that the maker has like his like portrait just hanging up randomly.
Well, to be fair, that's Kingpin who has it.
Yeah. Wait. So what is what is up with the like? They're talking like to the. Am I missing something? It feels like they're talking about the maker like he's dead. Or
to be
something.
fair, he kind of is for now. Like he's trapped in the city for 2 years. They don't know what's going on in there.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, he's basically gonna be his Christ, like, you know, gonna make his giant return
around Easter next year.
Yeah,
exactly. Until the city opens, they have no idea what's going on with him. He's essentially like Harry, like Zach said, he's essentially in the Christ tomb. Okay. Schrodinger's Christ box.
What the
fuck? But to be fair, Maker is a petty little bitch with a god complex. This is the guy who went on the moon and put his flag on there instead of the U.S. flag, and was smiling like a little child when he did it. So it's totally in character for him to make have an oil painting of himself everywhere he owns. So,
I mean, it does remind me of like fascist societies where you had like Mao or Stalin, Mussolini. They all had like, you know, their shrine to their dear beloved leader. So,
Bester makes a point that they're praying he's dead. Like, since he's not there to control his weird little science experiment, they want to grab what they can while he's gone.
Interesting.
I do like if you know the historical like element too, and I think I mentioned this before, but I do like the fact that Captain Britain's French, because like if you know like the history between France and England, it's very contentious. It's only in the last century that they finally were getting along.
It's like and I do love like the bit in Ultimates where Cap goes, Cap goes, the Frenchman that's British that thinks he's British.
Yeah. What makes your brain hurt now, buddy?
What?
Oh.
Okay.
Sorry, ADD kicked in.
Do you think do you think Peter's going to keep the Pchajek suit, or do you think it's like the little strain that Otto took away is going to become Venom? Like, I don't know if Peter's going to take away the obvious. They're going to take away the obvious like nanotech MCU suit from him, but
So Marcy in the comment section says Maker is such a petty man. He probably killed the British to replace them with the French. He probably off Psylocke and Brian.
Damn. Ruthless.
Oh, nice. Nice. A surprise stream. Como vamo papi at Javi un video más.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Say it like a gringo, baby.
Yeah.
Google Translate would do better than whatever that was.
Peter's suit will become Venom. Otto's. Oh, the Pchajek arms will be Otto. The Pchajek strain will be Otto's.
Yeah, I can go with that. I would also think I almost think it would be interesting if they went like, if that's how they did Superior with Otto, like, oh, it's got, you know, but he took it before it came on. So anyway, yeah, I like that actually. That'll become the arms, because I think that Peter's suit will become Venom, and then that's it. You either have to do the hard reboot to defeat it, or he has to make a new one.
Like MJ gives him the cloth one or something. So my thoughts on Iron Lad coming up to tell Peter, hey Peter, it's go time. We're off to the races. He's
not ready.
The easy and obvious answer is I don't think Peter's going to join the Ultimates full time. Like, and that's part of that kind of fits into the Ultimates broadly, is that they're not always a single unit all the time. It's usually like whoever is available or wants to come with them on a certain mission is kind of their established MO. So my thought process is that whenever the big Maker War crossover thing happens in a year and a half or something, Peter says, I'm not going to join you guys full time. I got things to do in my real life, because I have a life unlike you guys. But when the time
true,
when the time comes, just give me a ring and Papa Peter will be over to kick the Maker in the face. I don't know, that feels like the easiest answer to me. I think the cover where Iron Lad is punching a box is a misleading cover.
I just like having a Spidey who's not going back to basics and he's like not in the Avengers. Like we can just keep him like he'll come for like the big crossover.
That's what I'm saying.
The end of the world. But like I hope that he doesn't, in the second year that he doesn't become a full-time Ultimate or whatever.
Oh no, I don't think he's going
to stay off in his own little box. But that's
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is that like
I'm agreeing with you.
He's a reservist, I guess, and when the big final battle comes, they can expect him to be there. But for now, you guys can go play around in your little sandbox. I'll be over here banging my hot wife and raising 2 kids.
May and the other one.
Yeah. Richard. Wait, shit. No, they got me. Damn it.
We finally got you to say his real name. Tevia asks,
they tricked me.
Do I believe that Mayday Parker...
Can we got to get him to see his name backwards?
I don't think so, number one. Number two, her name is May. She's not Mayday. It's not our
different
Mayday.
One's a redhead, one's a brunette.
Sometimes with red highlights, but yes. Like, they're 2 different things.
That was very specific about hair. Highlights and...
He's a girl dad.
He is. I was just going to praise you for that.
Walter actually has a really good point about why this May, who isn't Mayday, wouldn't be Spider-Girl anyways.
Yeah.
It says, I don't think it will happen because he didn't have powers when she was conceived.
There you go.
Unless she like eats the bug. Like the Falcon.
Get in the pod. Get in the pod, May. Eat the bug.
Oh, no, don't eat it. We know what happens when you eat it.
Just freaking put it in a smoothie and be like, all right,
do not eat it.
Yo, what if that's a plot? What if that's a plot point? The kids want powers and they find the spider and just eat it.
Oh God.
It would be like there wouldn't be anything left. It's already decomposed by this point. It's 6 months later.
It's like in a tube. It's in a test tube or something. I don't know. You let it bite him.
Yeah, well, that's okay. That's fair.
Remember Tony the Teenage Terrorist gave it to him in the test tube, and it was still alive when it was still alive when it bit him. So for all we know, it's still alive. It wasn't because in the 616 it was dying from the radiation when it bit him, but in this universe it's just genetically altered.
So it's just sitting there. It's
just chilling in the.
It's like put back in cryostasis, and they're like, "Oh, push a button," and then all of a sudden it like comes out and bites them, and then just goes back into the test tube to be like, "All right, I'll be back out next time."
Next time someone wants a power,
or they could just make more. I mean,
one power, please.
Crusty, dusty spider.
Well, and Radiac makes a good point that like there's way too many spider folk in 616. And I think just having one in 6160 is a good idea because the only other superpowered person in Peter's supporting cast is Harry, and that's just because he has a tech suit.
Yeah, and that's
no
fine.
powers, just a suit.
I like that we're kind of back to basics with this. So.
Yeah, like keep it all as simple as you can, please. Nothing too crazy.
Okay, that is funny. The spider is just in May's room waiting for the crossover to bite her. she stole the freaking tube and she just keeps it like that's her pet.
She just dangled. It's like the tooth fairy. It's like the equivalent of like trying to yank your tooth out with a string tied to your bedpost. She has the string attached to the test tube tied to the ceiling or something, and when she's ready to just pull it.
She gets a fly swatter and kills flies and feeds it flies.
Oh, that's
the family dog
idea.
The family dog. Here, boy, I got you some treat.
What's the name of the spider? Itsy
Webby.
Bitsy.
Yeah, Webby.
Itsy Bitsy.
It's Webby.
Webby. Javi, any thoughts on the spider?
No.
Oh,
He's bored. He wants to talk about things that matter, like the Brokeback Bugle Boys. He doesn't want to talk about
Neil. Why did you go there?
It's my favorite.
It's the
Truly.
implications.
I will wear a shirt with that, like 100%. I ship them so hard.
Can a man just hang out with his best friend?
Yeah.
Yeah, half naked in the Russian Turkish baths.
Yeah.
listen, those saunas, man.
Dudes rock, man. Come on.
Why would you wear your business suit inside the sauna, Neil?
You
Dudes
He is
rock.
wearing
not.
his suit when he's naked.
It's I can't even.
I'm sorry.
Well, and Marcy brings up that if the spider is similar to She-Hulk in Ultimates, which is basically just Castle Bravo with a gamma bomb, the spider is probably immortal.
Damn.
And for those of you who aren't aware, history lesson: Castle Bravo is the Bikini Atoll nuclear test that radioactive.
We're talking about real events now.
Well, it's tied to Ultimates because it's a parallel to the historical events. For those of you who want a history lesson, Castle Bravo was the United States nuclear test in Bikini Atoll that caused radiation poisoning to a local Pacific Islander population. And basically everyone realized it was a bad idea. And in the Ultimate universe, the Maker went to Bruce Banner and said, "You're our bestest boy. Here, have a bomb and stand real close to it." And he's keeping an entire island gamma irradiated for just to see what happens. Spoiler alert: it did not go well. It's called Castle Gamma because if it wasn't too on the nose for you.
I mean, and now we know knowing is half the battle.
Know your history, kids. Know the war crimes your country did, and whether or not you're proud of them is up to you.
I was about to applaud you, and then Neil took it completely over the edge and was like, "Well, never mind."
I knew it was coming, but I was like, "I'm just." Gonna
she wanted to see what happened.
Javi is so disappointed in you, Neil. He's just looking at you so disapprovingly right now.
Can I just say I've missed Javi being on the show?
Thank you,
too.
Ashley.
I love Javi being on the show. Javi is one of my favorite people.
He put me in
Thank you,
charge, though he wasn't here last time and had to dip out. He put me in charge, so
I did.
Somebody's got to keep us in line. God knows.
you thought I was the best option. I don't know.
Listen, I'm just saying. Look at this crab. Look at this crab.
Hang on, I'll blow you up. Hang on just a second.
Yeah, look at that crab. God loves crabs.
And
Look at how cute he is.
Well, no, I think
I
it's interesting.
I have to bring up our text thread when Neil sent that, and I had to legitimately ask, is that really a panel from the comic, or did you do one of your Neil memes and make it that way, Photoshop it in to say "God loves crabs"?
I think he's
That's
shocked that it's a real. I think he's
100%.
shocked that it's a real panel.
Yeah, I was. I was like, wow, okay.
Because here's the thing: for those that don't know, that are not obviously in our chat threads or on our Discord, link down in the description below if you want to join us. Neil has a tendency. He has an entire folder on his desktop computer that's just full of bullshit that he likes to post out of content. And that we have to sit there and try to interpret
if it's real or not.
with the beautiful mind of Neil Bogenrieder to figure out if A, it's legitimate, or B, it's just bullshit. So, I mean,
Right.
love you,
The
Neil.
memes he sends me.
Well,
They're
no,
favorite.
I'm not putting that up, Eskiner. Holy
My
shit.
God. Damn.
But I like the juxtaposition of Teen Tony in Ultimates, where he's just like a kid who enjoys the world around him, but slowly learns the horrors of it, versus Peter, who just kind of got told, "Hey, the Maker did a bad thing. Help us fix it," and just goes, "Okay," and just let the spider bite him,
All right.
see what would happen, because he's having a midlife crisis.
Zach, did you see Tevia's follow-up question?
I'm just wondering if I screwed up. Do you believe Ultimate Spider-Woman will be in this universe? And if you do,
No.
well, you think he'll be married? No, I don't think so. there's nothing, at least that we've seen so far, that indicates that there's going to be an Ultimate Spider-Woman. And I would think they would bring in Jessica Drew and not do a Spinneret type thing. I don't think this is going to evolve into Renew Your Vows Spider-Man is the long and short answer.
Good answer.
I hope it's just Peter, because I like this. I like the size of this Ultimate Universe, where it's not like endlessly expanding in the same way the 616 does. But I do enjoy like the size that we're at, with a little room to grow for Ultimates, because they're going to recruit more and more heroes to fight the Maker. But as is, the size is relatively compact compared to 616, because all the heroes we knew and love are gone. So we're kind of working with what we got, and I appreciate this the smaller scale of it. They've said that there's going to be like one more Ultimate title that's not the one shot, but like there's another Ultimate ongoing after the 1 year later one shot. I'm interested to see where they go with that one. Might be Ultimate.
Have there been any hints on what that title is going to be, or no?
They just said I think it was at either at San Diego or at another convention, that they had like a one shot coming up that was going to explore like the Maker's Cabal 1 year into the Maker's captivity. But then they said after that it's going to be another Ultimate title on the way.
Fantastic Four, maybe.
Yeah, Alex Skinner actually brought up the same thing, that all the books are introducing new characters. Great. I'm guessing the bonus book is Ultimate FF, especially because Doom Reed is on Ultimates, and I think given what's probably going to happen in issue 4, he's probably going to spin off into that title.
And the fact that they love their tie-ins, and allegedly we have a Fantastic Four movie coming next.
Allegedly, we don't know if it's going to be made into a tax write-off yet, Javi. Don't keep your hopes up.
First of all,
no. I say allegedly because Superman comes out right before, and that just finished principal photography, and now it has to do all the post stuff. And Fantastic Four is starting now.
Yeah, they just
there's just no way you get a good movie.
I think, at the beginning of July.
That size.
No, they started filming like after Comic-Con.
Yeah, they left.
Although there was
start principal.
I thought there was some footage.
There was footage.
Yeah, but that's not principal photography.
Yeah, I think they were saying that was like test stuff or something, because I remember the week of Comic-Con they were saying, oh yeah, they were hinting that Fantastic Four would probably be at the panel, and they were like, oh, the movie is going to start filming properly the week after Comic-Con. They're going to England and everything, and now they're currently doing that. So,
but given the state of movies since the pandemic and how long it's taken effects to get done, like I honestly don't see a quality movie being out next summer. I called Fantastic Four.
I would put it. If anything, I'd put it into December.
Yeah,
I was about to say November
for holidays.
Time frame. Yeah, for the holidays. Yeah. It's a family movie. To me, that fits better than trying to do it in the summer, especially because Superman's going to be
huge. Well, hopefully.
Yeah. If it's not, then that's screwed. But that's a whole other podcast.
All right, guys, time to burn out a dozen VFX studios to get this movie made on time.
Yeah, I mean, God knows when they're going to put Spider-Verse 3 out, and
I
just find it weird that for being touted as the first family, they're always kind of late to all these alternate universes, be it 2099 or the Ultimate Universe or the new Ultimate Universe, if that's the route they go. But it would make sense considering how they like to do comics that kind of feed off where the movies are. Like Deadpool, Wolverine, World War III, or WW3. It's a spoiler for what that is. So,
I was gonna say at least in this Ultimate Universe, the FF are delayed because Maker went out of his way to blow them up in their rocket. And then put Reed in Doom mask because he thought it would be funny.
Jeez,
it's such a dick move.
Well, I'm just okay. There's not really a reason for him to do it. It's just he was a petty little bitch. It's his entire modus operandi is based on vibes.
It seems interesting that like he would do that to a version of himself. I guess he's like you, Neil, and he likes he thought it was funny.
He has so much self-hatred. He's willing to put a version of himself in a Doom mask.
Yeah,
I just think he thinks it's funny.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he's like, well, every Reed Richards needs a Dr. Doom. We'll just, instead of using Victor,
I'll make my own.
I'll make my own.
Yeah, and it'll be me. Ha 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 ha.
That's funny.
Oh, because he sees a lot of himself in because he and Doom are okay. Yeah,
Mortal enemies. There's synergy there.
We open we crack open the Doom mask, and it's just Robert Downey Jr.
Well, and he's also like, who better to be, who better to stand toe to toe against me than myself? The intellect.
Oh, because the ego thing. Like, no one's my intellectual equal except for me.
Yeah, and then it's like, well, we'll see who's ultimate. We'll see who's the best.
I am the ultimate Reed. I am the one who walks.
Maker was like nothing personal, kid. The ultimate Reed. Teleports behind you.
It's just business, kid.
Teleports behind him, puts a Doom mask on him.
Nothing personnel, Reed. Now get to work.
Such a
okay. Walter's asking why I'm so because it's the middle of the day, not like at 8 o'clock at night after I've worked.
Yeah,
and I enjoyed this
literally book. Neil, before we started the stream, when it was just him and I, he goes, "Think anybody's gonna notice that bottle of alcohol sitting on my nerd shelf?"
Oh,
I'm like, no,
in there.
Think about it, and then fucking Walter's like, "Hey, looky there, Kool-Aid man!
look what Neil got on his shelf."
I recognize
didn't
that
say
bottle
anything.
of booze.
I know a bottle of Fireball when I see it.
Every time I see a bottle of Fireball, I start getting acid reflux and getting Vietnam flashbacks.
That makes sense.
Well, Marcy
we did have Daredevil show up in the first issue.
Yeah, or Father Murdoch. Father Murdoch, yeah.
Father Murdoch.
Murdoch.
Miles Morales was come to this new Ultimate Universe in 616 is misused Miles. No, like the Ultimate Invasion, Maker went, "Hey, bro, we're two survivors of the old one. You want to come with me, build a new one?" And Miles goes, "No," and Maker goes, "All right, see you later."
I didn't even finish that last issue of Miles.
The one where he's a vampire now, or
yeah, I don't remember what happened, but
Miles
something happened, and I just didn't go back to it.
Like something happened.
And PTSD kicked in, and he just blocked it out of his memory.
Yeah,
I do think he saw Miles with fangs. He's like, "Nope, I'm out."
Like, why are we? Yeah,
I do think it's interesting how they would do Daredevil here, because I just imagine like Tony going to Matt as a priest, and he's like, "Here, throw these chemicals in your eyes."
I think he's already blind, isn't he?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think the only difference
was wearing dark glasses at the memorial.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is that I think he's already blind. He just didn't get the Styx training. So
Tony goes to the confessional booth and says,
"Father Matt, I've sinned. Here, have some nanotech."
Oh my god.
Throws it in his face. Blinds him.
"Father, forgive me, for I have sinned." And he opens the booth. Pocket nanotech.
I'm about to send.
Doesn't even restore his eye, just gives him nano radars. Couldn't even fix your blindness. Here, just have some nanotech.
Yeah, because he could have probably just went blind naturally, unfortunately, and then but without the cool powers. So then it's like, well, I'll give you the radar sense somehow.
Yeah, the implication is he's blind because he's got black sunglasses. No one else is wearing glasses in the scene. It's snowing.
And when like a cloud, it's overcast.
There's a woman leading him by the arm.
Right. So, yeah.
The implication for me is that he got. You remember in the Daredevil movie with Affleck that he got doused with chemicals at the Sparks factory. Like they don't make anything except sparks. And
what are you talking about?
Like remember where his dad works and Matt gets doused in the chemicals. Like they're not actually making anything; they're just making sparks. I just call it the Sparks factory.
Okay, I'm like, it was a forklift that hit like a vat of toxic waste and it ripped it open.
No, I'm just like the only thing they're producing at that factory that. But when he's coming into the factory, like all they're doing is like putting a buzzsaw to some metal and making some sparks. Not actually making anything; they're just making sparks to make it look like they're doing something.
Walter, I can't put that up on screen. God Almighty!
Yeah.
I had to quit looking at chat because I just randomly would start laughing. And it made zero sense as to why I was laughing. So I was like, I'm done looking at this chat because the things that are being said are a lot.
The mutants are magic based in this, so Tony probably just gives them bat sonar and a big cane to swing.
And now he's Batman.
Okay, Tevye, Ultimate Punisher is covered in Ultimates. He was a Rambo mass shooter in the 1980s after Vietnam. I mean, that's what happened. I mean,
they drew First Blood, not me.
Is he like in his 60s then?
No, he's
like
dead.
They keep him to Vietnam. Oh, he's dead. Okay.
Like so they don't actually explain what happened to him, but the implication is that he went on a mass shooting in the U.S. dressed as Rambo and your average Columbine kid, and
like really Rambo, or
like he had the headband and the cut. And the
Jim Lee headband.
I love how Javi always has to ask leading clarification questions.
Listen, after his shenanigans where I didn't know what actually
after the crabs question
tragedy
what's 7-Eleven, man?
Renaming. Yeah, I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to give power to it, Adam.
Okay, so
after that, I have to question everything this man says now.
So okay, being completely serious, not even memeing. So Punisher went in with his Rambo headband and his "Don't show up to school tomorrow" clothes. It's implied that he died and that his actions inspired paramilitary groups in the South Americas with his Punisher skull mixed with a Red Skull. So it's implied that that his actions created far right paramilitary groups across the world that are destabilizing governments under his and Red Skull's name.
That's hardcore. Okay, so after that, I want to bring it back to the book a little bit.
Yes.
One thing. So I guess my big con with the book these days, I've been thinking about it a lot. Is kind of the decompression. I mean, I like it, and I always say this. I feel like I say this every episode now. It's decompressed, but each issue, because it takes place every month, they're all kind of done in one, so you're not really missing too much. But yeah, I'd probably say it's going slow. There's still a lot of setup happening, and I mean personally, I think we are getting a ramp up pretty soon with the Sinister Six teases and these AI Venom shenanigans, but yeah, I don't know. Just wanted to throw that out there again.
So just real quick, just to confirm what I was saying to Javi, this is the image of Punisher doing his thing in Ultimates number 2, and then a couple pages in, because it's showing what Howard and America were up to during the time gap between where Maker was interfering, and a group of paramilitary guys, and I'm assuming it's South America with Red Skull Punisher combo and imagery. So
wasn't that a thing in Earth X too, where there was a Red Skull Punisher logo?
It might have been.
I never got around to reading it. Oh, Tevye said the same thing, so it must have been.
I give this book a 10 out of 10 because it's 10 times better than ASM. Well, okay, 0 times 10 is still 0.
Okay, it's not to be. ASM isn't that bad.
But my point broadly is that I wouldn't give this a 10 out of 10. I'd probably give it an A-. I guess if we're going into grades.
To Walter's comment here, I mean, it is a really slow burn. Honestly, Bendis at this point was faster paced than this, kind of. I would say a little bit.
I think Hickman has more moving parts than Bendis did at the time.
Well, there's more Spider-Man. I feel like there was more Spider-Man stuff happening in Bendis's run at this point. A little bit, I get it. This is totally different, and I like that it's totally different. But here's the thing. So I think I kind of want to see more friendly neighborhood Spider-Man stuff instead of friendly freedom fighter Spider-Man stuff. If that makes sense.
No, I think your critique's valid, because it does feel like, I don't feel like it's necessarily decompressed, but that because we're only getting we're moving time along
Right.
at the same speed as us. Because when I think of like decompression, I think of like 6 issues of a Bendis comic taking place over 2 days.
Sure.
You know, and that's not that. But I wish we could see more of like the everyday stuff, like you know, the friendly neighborhood crime fighting, like what else he's doing, what's going on with him and the kids, the personal life stuff. Because we're only getting little glimpses of everything. And but I think that's what's the solution to that is going bi-weekly then,
right? Yeah,
to move things along to get that or another title.
Yeah, because I don't really want that as the thing.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't want to make this ASM 2, you know, in another universe.
Yeah,
I like that it's like once a month and not, you know, very fast paced, because it is doing a lot of building and background and all of that stuff. So I appreciate that personally. Before it's like rushing into getting to, oh, there's this going on, there's that going on, and then it's like, oh, fighting here, fighting there, and then this person's got powers now, or this is going on, and then it's just chaos. I like the pace of this because it's like going with the flow and not all this shit just crammed into an issue every time, and you're like, okay. Like, I feel like it's really trying to build on everybody and not just Spider-Man. And I do think that we'll get more, obviously, of him in that friendly, like, neighborhood spider, you know, man style. But I think that they need to do all this back stuff with the suit, him and his relationship with Harry, you know, and stuff. So I do think it's coming more stuff with, like, him, his kids, and MJ and everything. But I don't think it'll be, you know, next issue like type of thing. I think it's going to be a few issues probably down the road to give more background.
I like all this stuff, but I just feel like it makes me think about, you know, people. I think people have real concerns about this book, and it's so overhyped that the people that are overhyping it are like, oh, it's fine, you know. But like when, you know, we're talking about how, I mean, I like that MJ's cool with him being Spider-Man, but I do think, you know, me and Neil are talking about, I've seen other people talk about, like, I think if you had that conversation fleshed out a bit more, it would have played a bit better for people that are like
a couple extra pages a month would probably benefit the book a lot.
And I do want to see him. I want to see him. I do want to see him actually do like some Spidey stuff, like stopping crime, because it's like, because, you know, Tony comes in and he's like, are you a hero yet? And it's like, we're kind of like, well, I don't know. Is he? Like,
nah, man, I fought the capos once. I got scared and ran away.
He didn't win against Shocker, which makes sense because he's a newbie. You know, he was getting used to it.
Either time. Him
and Harry like take out Bullseye. One of them. That's cool. They kind of lost / it was a draw against Kingpin. But like, we don't really see, and we see them essentially training, which is good. But it's like, I want to see what Peter's doing kind of outside of this. But I guess, you know, the main plot, we have like a plot that and it's not really the plot is driving the character, but it's like there is a, you know, Hickman has this roadmap, it seems, and he's having the characters follow it in a way that makes sense for them to follow it, because they're all constantly learning about
new things.
Yeah. Yes.
What I want to know is who's in charge right now. Like, is Hickman still the ringleader? Because Ultimate Spider-Man's like the Hickman title, and he's the guy who started Ultimate Universe, the new Ultimate Universe. So I'm wondering if he's in charge, or if Denise Camp is, because he's the guy who's handling those characters, or at least handling like the main storyline of dealing with the Maker's Cabal. I'll get to Eskinder's comment about Ultimate Leader in a minute, but Adam gets responded to by Radiac, and he and I have both been talking about this, that Ultimates does a better job with single stories per issue, like the one and dones, because it expands on like a single unitary issue or concept. Like in the first issue, it develops like how they're going to fix the world in Ant-Man and in Wasp. Second issue, it deals with what's happened to America since the Maker took over, and explores Captain America's relationship with a post-war America in a modern lens. And then issue 3 deals with like tying the knots together on Hulk's storyline and how She-Hulk factors into it. Meanwhile, Ultimate Spider-Man has a bunch of moving parts that are all kind of eventually going to tie together, because that's how Hickman works. Hickman always kind of more or less gets all of his knots tied before the end of his runs, but he has more moving things that are moving on in the background while the main plot's moving forward. And because these issues are like snapshots of like what's going on in a single month, we're not getting the full picture. I think that's starting to harm the book. It worked more for the first 6 issues because it kind of slowly built towards it. But now that we're past that, we need to see more than just the snapshots of any particular month.
It does feel like these do feel like chapters in a book and not like necessarily parts of a story, I guess. This does feel like, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, etc., etc., to me at least.
And to me, to go off of that, Adam, one of my caveats for when we were talking about issue 6 and MJ was was a little too okay with Peter being Spider-Man, for my opinion. Again, there's that conflation of like me wanting a bit more apprehension on MJ's part equals book bad. That's not the case.
Yeah,
but I think some follow-up was necessary, and then we just cut to the middle of July, and MJ is just like hanging out with Gwen doing girl boss things.
Yeah,
and, in a vacuum, that's okay. But I think in the story where Peter and Harry are toppling the worldwide government and about to interact with the Ultimates, I think we need a bit more follow-up on Peter's wife and what she's up to, and how her plot points are intersecting with Peter's.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the end of Homecoming when Aunt May finds out, and then they go into Far From Home, and she's just cool with it, and we didn't get to see that conversation.
Oh, you know what? You're right.
But we did see
Peter and MJ.
Yeah.
I think to a lesser extent, it's less egregious because, like you said, we got that conversation, but also MJ hasn't really, I don't want to say done a whole lot this run, but there's not like that 7-year time skip between Homecoming and Far From Home, where all of a sudden we just hard cut to May and Peter doing charity stuff, and she's like, "Hell yeah, brother, yay! Get them, Aja."
I would hope, because like for me, the conversation with MJ, I think what would have strengthened it is if she had her suspicions like already.
I've always known.
Yeah, or she was starting to figure it out, kind of like ASM a little bit, when she's like, well, I've known for a while now. But more like, oh, okay, like if they did something like that where she was like, well, I knew something was happening, like all these changes lately and etc. And there was, I don't know. I think that could have strengthened. I'm hoping that maybe we get something like that further down the line, or maybe it's too late now. I don't know, but I think that would have helped the scene.
I talked about this last issue, but like a solo MJ issue, or like a MJ focused issue where it focused on her day to day.
Yeah,
and figuring out like what's her role in doing PR for the one world government who has Human Torch's body just lying around. What's she up to? or hang out with Gwen, because Gwen's in on it, and they both know their husband's secrets. Like, figure that out. Elaborate on that. That's cool, but we're not getting that, and that's kind of hindering the book. Because
maybe the solution would be to go DC style, like with Batman and action, and have a backup. Like add some pages, have a backup, have Messina do the art to give it some consistency, and have backup stories to flesh out some of these characters' subplots. That way you get more of like Peter in the main story. Like I'd be cool with that.
I'd be cool with that
because I
too,
like with like the monthly thing, like to get what Adam was saying. Like I kind of like that. Like I want more of the story, but at the same time, I like that every time I finish an issue, I'm like eagerly waiting for the next issue, like a month from now. Like I appreciate having that anticipation and of being excited for the book, because it's been a long time that I've felt that way about any of Marvel's books. So it's a fun place to be as a fan right now, to me, to have that want and to be excited for the title.
I read the preview for 8 before I read this, and I was like, oh, this is interesting.
Oh, hey, Venom. I mean, Ball.
Yeah.
Peter turns into like a magic 8 ball. Hey, Pchajek, what's my future? Ask again later.
It seems unclear.
Your future is undetermined.
Not quite
like
certain.
what Exiles is saying about introducing Harry and Gwen in the second arc. Like that to me is like that Bendis decompression of like pushing it back, because at the pace that we're going, like it's not a movie, but like it takes a while to get to the next
TV
part.
show.
Yeah.
This is a TV show. I was gonna say, like, you could adapt this as a TV show, no problem.
I think like look, I guess to tie it back to X-Men, because that was Hickman's last big project. The decompression and like lack of connection from issue to issue worked because it was like, here's the anthology of a nation state being built and the circumstances around that. Here the stakes are way scaled down, especially compared to Ultimates. I know that I'm bringing up Ultimates a lot, but it really is a companion piece for this title. They're inextricably tied together through Ultimate Invasion, Ultimate Universe, in the same way that Black Panther and X-Men are less so connected, but they're still in the peripheral. But I think that Ultimates is like the book that Hickman should be writing, because even though he's technically already written Ultimates, right, from the last go around, it's more suited to his structure, or his structure of storytelling.
I don't know. That's the thing. I'm not sure if I would have wanted Zdarsky, but because I guess they wanted Zdarsky to do it, but he was like, no, Hickman should do it.
Listen, I was just trying to be smooth on my transition out of the frame, and then you're like, oh, look, I'm sliding away. Damn it, Walter. Quit stalking me.
I do like Walter's point that like the family will be in danger and then there will be like an argument. I could see that happening.
Oh, yeah.
I think so too.
So I haven't really given, like, I've let you guys kind of have the floor for a bit, which is great. It means I don't have to talk as much. I agree with a lot of what you're saying, Adam. And I agree that with Walter here that everything's gonna come to a head. Yeah. Just how we get there, is it going to be caused by the maker? You know, that's the part of the journey that I'm interested to see how we go. And I think also genuinely that part of the issue with this book is we have become so spoiled with 2 issues a month, and it's been that way for a decade now. That
more,
yeah, almost 15 years now. Wow, God, is it?
Yeah,
jeez, it has been 15 years. Over.
It's hard to believe that 2016 was 8 years ago.
Jesus Christ, I was in college.
I mean,
Jesus Christ, Zach had hair.
Sorry.
No! Sorry.
Dang.
I don't know where that came from.
Holy shit.
I just got Vietnam flashbacks. Jesus Christ, I used to get made fun of all the time like that.
I did not have that on my 2024 bingo card coming out of hobbies now.
To be fair, I'm right there with you, pal.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, listen, my ex-wife back in 2016 got half my hair in the divorce, and it's never recovered since.
Yeah, we know.
We know.
Wait, you shaved. That was your fault.
I think that should be part of a drinking game or something.
Zach just looked at me like Zach just pinpointed my location with like ballistic missiles. Holy shit.
What?
Zach gave me a glare like he's gonna like strike my house with a drone.
Was it you or was it me? Because he doesn't know his directions.
No, me. No, he was pointing at me, looking at me because I said that he shaved his head and that's the problem.
Listen, I shaved my head because I gave up.
Me too, bud. I gave up too. I still won.
That's the 12-inch Scarlet Spider, sir. Get your core memory right.
I do think that I think Black Panther doesn't have as much staying power as Ultimate Spider-Man does. I think what we're gonna see going
the lowest selling, isn't it?
I think so. What I think is gonna happen is I think Ultimate Black Panther is gonna get canceled and it's gonna consolidate into Ultimates.
Yeah.
And whatever new Ultimate title is coming is gonna replace that one because we're 1 year in. You get 2 trades of Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
You're good. And Black Panther joins the Ultimates.
Yeah.
You get a more traditional character for once on the team.
I want to say though, I like the idea of having a backup that matters, like Javi was talking about. Like if you had like a couple pages, a few pages to just, what are some other people doing? Like what's Mary Jane doing or something?
What's the other one doing?
Yeah, the other kid. What's he up to?
He's reading.
Yeah, he's just reading in his room. He's tired of this shit already.
He's plotting how to take over the world.
He's plotting how to get the Venom.
I would love that. I would love to have a because my problem with backups, it's like people are like, oh yeah, put a backup in for extra pages and to justify the price increases, but I don't want like fluff. I want something that is
I want substance,
substantial. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like something like MJ's subplot has enough meat on it that it could justify a backup or something. Yeah. But I don't think what the other one or May is doing has enough meat on the bone to justify giving her like a backup. Like what's Gwen up to? What's Gwen doing? What's Gwen doing for her part fighting fascism? Mm-hmm. What's Otto doing? Otto, what's Otto up to besides being an egomaniac?
You maybe get a build up for Otto going Doc Ock and a little backup.
Hey guys, it's me, Otto. Look at my arms. Look at my Pchajek arms.
Oh, what's that? And I was weak.
What's this? Uranium? Ah, my arms.
Call me.
Why do I feel pain?
Why do I feel pain in my Pchajek arms?
Yeah.
Why do I feel pain in my rib cage?
Owie.
Yeah, owie. Gets blasted by an atomic bomb. Owie.
I mean, that's kind of the Hulk in this universe, where Maker just sidles up to Bruce and goes, "Hey man, you're my special boy, my bestest guy. You want more money to build a bomb? Tell you what, champ. You go stand right next to that bomb. I'll give you all the money you want."
Okay, so Tevia did ask this question earlier, and I forgot to
post it.
I forgot to pull it up because we were talking. You guys were in your deep intellectual discussion. He says, "Do you think this Venom symbiote is the same symbiote from the old Ultimate Universe that the Maker used?"
No, that's the one that was an absolute carnage, right?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think that one's just going to be forgotten about, like all Ultimate subplots.
Otto becomes superior Rock with his own voice as AI as it gets corrupted. Everything is on AI.
Yeah, that's what I honestly think that's how they do. They do like a kind of a superior Spider-Man, superior Rock hybrid with the AI.
Yo, thing. They do the thing where the arms in Spider-Man 2 speak to Otto.
Yeah.
That's the AI. That's the AI.
Yep. There you go. It's all connected. It's hyper time, right?
That was in Peter David's Spider-Man 2 adaptation.
Is that why they're doing Lamb Chop sing along in the movie where they're just mouthing words to him and he just replies to them even though they're not saying anything? Okay.
If you read the official like novelization of Spider-Man 2, they actually talk to Otto. Otto has conversations internally with him.
Okay.
Which I think was in an earlier draft. That's what Peter David was working with when he made the novelization.
Because don't they do that? I feel like they do that with early draft. Like the novels are usually based on early drafts, and that's why there are things in the novels that aren't in the movies. Sometimes
it's like the Transformers 3 novel where like there's an entire section of the movie that was changed because the novel came out first.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, Marcy makes a point that Maker gave Hulk therapy after nuking him after the Gamma Bomb went off.
It's like, yeah, he needed it.
Hey buddy, how's Buddhism working for you?
If you read Immortal Hulk, he needed it.
Yep.
Do we give final grades?
We have not given grades yet. We have not. So let me pull up my banners so that way I can get people's grades up on the screen.
Javi needs to get out of here, and we're an hour and a half deep.
Oh yeah.
So all right, Javi, your grade, my friend.
I mean, surprising no one, it's a solid A.
It's just an A. All right. A for Javi. Neil, your grade.
We're all kind of in the same ballpark, so I'm going to give it an A-. The flaws, the cracks in the foundation are kind of becoming a bit more evident, but I think we're all relatively in the same ballpark.
Ashley.
Anything with Uncle Ben and Jonah in it will get an auto A+ for me. So
all right.
I think Jonah and Ben in the Turkish bath should be like its own T-shirt.
It should. Brokeback Bugle, 100%. A+.
Adam,
I'll give it an A.
Adam's grade's an A. All right,
because I'm still, I'm intrigued by it all. I mean, it is good. Like I don't know. I think it works, but there are just concerns, and I do think the concerns are going to be eventually addressed. But yeah, it's good. I do. Oh yeah, my one fun, because I've said this before, like, if people, because the thing is like this can't, if people actually want this to replace ASM, you can't have it replace ASM. It's because it's its own thing, unless they're gonna pull like a Marvel Rebirth and like it's like, sorry Peter, you're out, and yet now we have Ultimate Peter with his family to take your place. And
the maker stole 10 years of your life, bud.
Yeah, like anyway.
Well, he did. Yeah. You know what? I wasn't too far off.
I give it an A-. I think the artwork is exceptional. I think the storyline. I mean, we haven't really talked about the artwork, but I think that's kind of implied. Chichetto is god tier. The scene with Robbie, I love that Robbie is the inside man. The Kingpin stuff is interesting. The Harry, voice in his head being Norman is, I think, a chef's kiss, like subtle nod.
Go, my son, do a crime.
I also think it's funny that Peter couldn't think of like anybody else, so he just says myself as my. So it's like his own internal monologue going to be the AI, which I think is also kind of neat as well. Otto is Otto, I really enjoyed this issue. People in the comments, leave your grades if you read this. Tevia said he gave an A+, mostly because it gave me everything I ever wanted, and seeing Peter and MJ and the kids and being a family makes him so happy.
Well, wait, in this issue, brother, the kids didn't even exist.
I know. But because just the concept of it gives
children.
Be gone, child. The adults are talking.
B- due to lack of extra pages to explain past stuff.
B+ due to time jump starting to hurt.
Starting to hurt.
Owie, my tummy's hurting because no explanation.
Apparently, I understand that reference, Walter. I don't know if anybody else does.
Oh yeah. Also, Walter was wondering how if Otto is drawn to look like a certain somebody in this, and he kind of looks like Ditko Peter.
Yeah, we talked about that in issue 5, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Listen, I wasn't gonna say his wife. I was thinking like Uncle Ben
or Aunt May.
Aunt May. Probably not Uncle Ben.
Hello, sweetie. Do you want wheat cakes?
That reminds me of like this week's Spider Boy with 982 Peter. Like, I made wheat cakes, and hey, I don't have a blown out leg anymore. I'm gonna put it.
Hey guys, look, it's me, Jake Johnson, starring as MC2 Peter. I did get a kick out of Marcy asking why Maker made Cyclops a cute anime girl. Because Peach Momoko, don't ask questions, just optic blast.
Anyway, listen, Walter, I wouldn't be disappointed. Go pick it up.
Yeah,
this is one of the best books out on the market right now.
Yeah. Paul says it's the best Spider-Man book, and I would agree.
I wish Paul were here, but Paul doesn't want to show up. Calling
He's
you
busy.
out.
He's got a lot of stuff. He's got a lot of stuff going on coming up.
Oh my. Wamo Shundere Nani. Optic blast.
Oh, he's still on the anime girl thing.
Jojo reference.
Mojo Jojo?
No,
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I don't.
He doesn't know that.
I don't know. I'm so painfully.
Zach don't know.
Or no, it's Fist of the North Star. My bad.
So, all right, Javi. Final thoughts, because I know you got to leave. Shit too.
For me, another fun issue. This is my favorite Marvel book right now, and the art is fantastic. The writing's engaging. I like the reinterpretation of these characters, and if you're not reading it, pick it up.
I agree. Let me look at the calendar because somebody's asking what is upcoming next, Exiles specifically. So,
we're gonna do Spec next week, and then ASM maybe. I think
we're doing Spec next week. Yes, we're
Yeah,
doing
we
Spec.
do.
even though Ultimate comes out literally on Wednesday.
We got to build up. We got to build up that hype for, people will be chomping at the bit. Like, when are they going to do Ultimate? When are they going to do Ultimate? And the views are going to explode.
Exactly. So next week is Spec. Following week is ASM. Then
we'll probably do Ultimate.
Then Ultimate,
perhaps.
Then Spec again. Then I think we're taking a break. We finally will take a break in like November or September. Oh, stop, Ashley.
Marcy asks when Norman AI does Sins Past.
Oh God, that would be messed up.
But it would also be really funny.
That would be really jacked up. So
we get like we get Norman, instead of possessing Peter like in Spider-Girl, he possesses Harry, and oh man.
Hello, son. Your wife is mine now.
Your wife and your soul are mine. Next episode,
that would be interesting. That would be an interesting way to make Harry go evil, actually.
Hi, honey, I'm home.
Bad. I'm not gonna. Anyway, so next week we'll talk.
I'm Tommy Lee Jones now, my dear.
Damn it, Neil. So next week we'll be talking about Spec. We'll probably do some news as well and talk about what's going on with Kraven the Hunter's new trailer and that disaster waiting to happen.
Can't wait.
So we will we'll do news, we will do Spec, and we will be definitely covering all of that. So let me try that again. When is the Collins show? He needs to prepare for it. So the Collins show is going to be episode 100. So that's going to be 7 episodes from now. So probably going to be October, which would be kind of fitting considering the start of the Spideydude Radio Network started in October. Clone Saga Chronicles came out October 1st, 2009. 15th anniversary special coming up very soon with the CSC crew. So, yeah. And Zach, was that Norman or Sang Lung? What?
The voice you were doing.
Oh.
He doesn't know. He just makes random ones sometimes, and then it's like a shot in the dark, and he's hoping it sounds like a character.
I love you, Ashley. Thank you. Right in the chest. It's fine.
Yeah, well, Marcy makes a point. There is no Kraven trailer in Ba Sing Se.
That Kraven trailer doesn't exist. I mean, it does.
Does it?
We'll talk about it. I think it. Yeah, we got to talk about it. The Kraven trailer gives me hope that they will not do any more Sony-led Spider-Man movies. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
So, all right. With that, I'm going to start wrapping the episode up. If you have not already followed us over on the different social medias, you can follow us on Twitter at Spideydude Radio, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads at Spideydude Network. If you have not already subscribed and you're an audio listener, go find us over on YouTube, Spideydude Radio Network on YouTube. If you want to have your voice on the show, you can always leave us a voicemail, 818-925-6631. Leave us a voicemail, or you can shoot me an email, SpideyDudeRadioNetwork@gmail.com as well. So we want to thank our patrons over at patreon.com/Spideydude Network. Patrons that you see up on the screen like Allison, Cindy, Ed, Georgia, Greg, Janelle, Jessica, Jurgen, Joyce, Catherine, Kale, Laura Howard, Lump Moose, Master Drammond, Phoenician, RJ, Vanessa, Vicky, as well as our spectacular patrons, Sarah, Tara, Walter. VIPs are Scott and Vinkman. Thank you guys for your support, as well as you see up on the screen, our friendly neighborhood tier. I will mention them on the audio editions. If you have not already, if you go to Patreon, you get exclusive access to the Books of X podcast, which we need to be doing more of those episodes soon, Neil. And we'll also have MTV Man. The latest episode is already dropped that we did of our MTV Man reviews and commentaries. Check out the Slot Symposium, where we cover the Mysterioso. We'll have another one coming very soon. If you have not checked out our fine interviews, like with Juan Ferreira, Greg Weisman, and JMD Mateus that we've done so far this year, go check that out. Voices from the Eyrie going to be a little bit on a hiatus because, unfortunately, one of them got COVID from Convergence, and the other has to do some unexpected move-outs. So Voices from the Eyrie coming back to you very, very soon. Clone Saga Chronicles, of course, and Spectacular Radio. You can always find those there. ASM Classic as well with Javi. And Sabi Sema Era Podcast has new episodes dropping very soon. And of course, Make My Mayday, the end of the month, I believe on the 31st is when we're going to be doing our next episode. So all that being said, without further ado, we are going to wrap this episode up. Thank you for watching. If you've been watching us live, if you've been listening to us after the fact, we also appreciate that as well. We'll see you next time here on the Spideydude Radio Network.